Hi friends, my name is Alicia and we're going to be talking about scarcity and abundance. And so I made a video about how generosity breeds abundance in our own lives and the lives of others. But I want to talk about different ways that scarcity shows up in our lives. And so I've been journaling, I've been writing, I've been thinking about this thing for myself, like how does scarcity show up in my life? I say that I want abundance, but what am I struggling with? And I would love to hear if you resonate with any of these scarcity mindsets. Leave it below. Let's talk about it. All right, so the first thing that I said is, what if nothing better comes along, right? What if nothing better comes along? A lot of us are settling because we think that this is the best that it can get, right? This is the best that I can get, so I might as well just take what I can. And so, we're settling for the first okay thing instead of waiting for the great thing. Or, we're doing the okay thing in hopes to get the great thing, but then we just kind of settle here and be like, oh, well, it's enough. It's fine. Like, I'm okay with where I am. And so I would rather be alone than be in a horrible relationship. And I know a lot of people are struggling with that. Some people feel like, oh, well, he's the only person showing me attention, or she's the only person showing me attention, or, I don't know, our relationship is okay, but you're not really fulfilled. And that doesn't mean romantic either. That doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be, your people, your community, your friends. If you're not feeling the love from that community, if you're not feeling heard, seen, valued, then like, what's the point? You don't have to settle for things because you think that's the best that you can get. You can get better. There is better out there. Sometimes we just have to wait it out or seek it out. If we don't have it, sometimes we have to build it ourselves, but don't ever settle because you think this is the best that it can get. And then it slows us down when the great thing comes along because we're too busy entertaining the okay thing that we don't have the capacity to have the amazing thing, the amazing job, relationship, the amazing apartment, whatever it is. Like, we settle and then we're frustrated because when great comes along, it's like, dang, I wish I would have saved my money, and bought this thing instead, because we're willing to go for, I guess, the first thing that comes along. And it's our lack of patience. It's our lack of a belief that better can come along that gets us stuck in these mindsets and in these traps. I'm sure we've all had this happen to ourselves when we go to a restaurant or somewhere else, like fast food, and they say, and I order like chicken nuggets, and they say, oh, it's going to be 20 minutes for the chicken nuggets. I'm like, I'll just get the cheeseburger, right? And I get the cheeseburger, then my stomach's upset. And at the time that I ate the cheeseburger, I could have had what I really wanted at the end, but I was too focused on, I guess, like feeding myself right now in this moment that I missed out on the great thing, which is the chicken nuggets. And of course, use this example loosely because we all know chicken nuggets aren't that great. But the whole point is that a lot of us are settling for what we don't want, and we forfeit or, make it harder for ourselves to get the thing that we really do want, or we don't have the capacity or the energy or the money or the resources or the time to entertain the great thing when it does come along. So no. Hold out, wait for the thing that you actually want. There is no rush. There is no one forcing you to do anything. You can take your time. Be honest with yourself about what you want and then move forward. Another way that scarcity shows up in my life, and I talked about this in a previous video about how generosity creates abundance, is that if I give this thing, there'll be less for me. If I give my time, if I give my money, my resources, my love, there'll be less of that for me, right? And it kind of plays into the last example. But this really is about idolatry, right? Like I held on to a lot of things, and I'll explain. I held on to a lot of things and I thought that it was serving me, right? It wasn't serving me in the moment, but I thought, oh, it could serve me, but really I was serving it. So holding on to books and holding on to, equipment and all these things that I have to keep up, that I have to maintain, I'm serving that thing. It's not really serving me. And so I end up idolizing that thing instead of the source, which is God for me. Like, God is my source. So instead of worrying about like, oh, if I give this thing, if I give away my equipment that I'm not using, I'm not going to have the equipment that I need. What I'm going to change my language is to, I don't need this right now, so somebody else could use this. And when I need this thing, God will give me the resources, the things I need to obtain the thing that I need in that time. But right now I don't need it, so I don't need to hold on to it. So I feel you. Like if you struggle with that, like if I give it away, I'm not going to have it. I totally understand, because we've been taught that if we give away things, then we're going to have less for ourselves. But really what we do is create abundance. We give to other people, they can give to us, they see us, we see them. And so if you need more information on that, check out that last video I did. It is my pleasure to give to people, right? Because God is the source, and all I have are resources of what He's given me. And so if I know that He is abundant, that He lacks nothing, that I lack nothing in Him, then it is my pleasure to give to other people. It is my pleasure, it is my goal to serve other people, because my Father is going to take care of me. And we have to realize that when we're stingy, when we're selfish, we're affecting more people than just ourselves and another person. So say, for example, if I get my hair done and somebody compliments me and asks, where do I get my hair done? I've seen people and I've heard people say that they will not tell other people because they don't want people taking their time slot, right? This person is really wonderful and, they're so talented, and I don't want to, lessen my chances of getting an appointment. But what you're doing is you're stopping the money that could flow to this other person that you value, that you say that you value. And if you value them, then why wouldn't you share their information with other people? This would in turn not only help the other person, but also the person that is serving you. But if we're holding on so tightly to the things, our appointments, our information, our connections, we're not just stopping ourselves and the other person. We're also stopping the people that we say that we love. And if we love them, then we're generous about them. We're generous with their information. We're generous with their services. But if we're holding on to those things, then we can't say that we love them, because that would be a lie. Another way under this example is my fear of spending money. I spent so much time going without that I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back to broke Alicia, struggling Alicia. And so what I was doing was holding on to money. All the money I got, I would save. I wasn't living. I wasn't thriving. I wasn't sharing with anybody else. I wasn't serving anybody else. I was serving myself. I was holding all this money in my account. And so what was happening was that I was so focused on the money that money became my idol. Money became my focus, not joy, not happiness, not my father, not my creator. It was all about the money. It was all about survival. And so if I want to live a life of thriving, of wealth, of abundance, and I have to come out of that survival mindset, I have everything I need. I have everything I need. I have not starved to death, not once. I have not, died because I didn't have what I needed. I'm still here. And so if I know that God is trustworthy, then I can trust him when he gives me the resources to give. I used this example before about a river versus standing water. When we're hoarding things, it's just really gross. Like all the stuff grows, bitterness, loneliness, selfishness. But also when you look at water standing, mosquitoes breed there. That's always annoying. But also nothing can grow. Nothing can grow when the water does not flow. But if the water is flowing, if it's functioning, it's filled with life, filled with resources, and other people come to it. Other animals come to that water, that river, to feed themselves, to nourish themselves. And they keep coming back, right? They keep coming back. And that's how things operate in our lives. When we are sharing, when we are abundant, that means that we're being generous. And I have to be generous if I want abundance to come back to me. And even using scripture, like you reap what you sow, right? If I'm sowing generosity, if I'm sowing kindness, if I'm sowing love, all those things are going to come back to me. That's how it has to work. So if we're really seeking abundance, we have to be careful with not falling back into those scarce mentalities or those selfish mentalities or those low-level thinking or the fear of missing out or the fear of not having enough. You have everything you need. You have everything you need. And also understand that money is not the greatest resource. The greatest resource is people. People are the greatest resources. You can have all the money in the world, and money is very helpful. Let me make that very clear. But if you don't have connections, you don't have any way to use that money and utilize it in a way that benefits not only yourself, but other people. And so when you don't have money, when you don't have the things that you need, other people will come in and help you because you are generous with them. People are the people we should be serving. That's the people we should be putting on a pedestal. That's the people that we should be treating with love, not money, not things, but people. And it's crazy because when I actually got to a place of overflow, I couldn't even enjoy it because I was so scared of losing it again. Isn't that crazy? We say that, oh, this would change my life. This money would change my life. But then you have everything you need and you're still worried. You're still stressed out. You're still bogged down. You're still fearful. And the reason is because our mentality hasn't changed, even though we've acquired all these resources, right? So I believe in Matthew 6:33, when Jesus himself says, worry about today because today has enough worries of its own. And that's the mindset I'm really taking with me. I have everything that I need. I don't need to worry about tomorrow because I have enough for today. God gave me the grace for today, and that's the only place that I can live in. I can't live in the future. I can set things in place so that the future is better, right? But all I have is enough for today. If I have enough money, enough time, if I have a roof over my head, if I have enough love for today, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. And I don't have to worry about what tomorrow's going to bring because that's none of my business anyway. When you think of food, right, you only have a certain capacity. You only have a certain capacity in your stomach to eat. Anything extra is extra, right? But a lot of us are holding on to all this extra, and all it's doing is going sour. When in reality, the extra that we have, we can give to other people so that they can thrive, they can live, and the food doesn't have to go to waste. But a lot of us are hoarding things, holding on to things, and all it's doing is going sour, becoming bitter, growing fungus, in our minds, because we're unwilling to share, unwilling to be generous. And that's the only way that you create beauty and space and room in your life is by being generous. So I hope that makes sense. I'm driving this point home because yes, you giving does not mean you lose out. If anything, you gain. Another way that scarcity shows up in my life is rushing through life, rushing to post, rushing to share, rushing to complete a project, right? Because I'm worried about me becoming obsolete. I'm worried about me becoming irrelevant. But the truth is that I have relevance. I am worthy. I am inherently worthy. And if I accept the fact that I am worthy, then I can slow down. I can take my time because I'm not racing anyone. I am in my own lane. Again, scarcity is manufactured. It tells us that there is not enough room for everybody and everybody can't make it. So you better compete with the person next to you. But the truth is that we're all living our own lives. They're teaching us to be scarce, to be competitive, because that's what they want from us. They want us to believe that there's not enough out here for everybody, but that's not the truth. There's enough for everyone. And so if I believe that, I can take my time. I can pace myself at a pace that is kind, that doesn't injure myself, that doesn't make me feel better than other people, and that doesn't make me feel less than other folks. That's why I never really liked competitions. Like I understand playing the sports for fun, totally get that. But competing with people about their beauty, about their talent, about their things, I don't understand. We're all worthy. We all have value. And so why are we feeding into the lie that there can only be one? That is not true. Even with social media is, it's great, it's wonderful, but it's also a very hungry platform. Instagram, YouTube, all these things. And they'll tell you, if you want to stay relevant, keep posting. If you want to stay relevant, you got to hurry up and put your thing out there. But really, what I really understand is that the works of art that I love, that I really enjoy, it took time. It took time to create, time to perfect, time to market, right? It took time. We're living in a world that prioritizes fast. Like everybody wants to be the first person doing that. I don't want to be the first person. I want to be the best me, right? I want to be the best Alicia, and the best Alicia comes with time, not, chasing some algorithm or chasing likes or subscribes and all this other stuff. The best Alicia comes from me pacing myself and taking my time. It is a lie that you have to rush through your life. What are you rushing for? Where are you going? You're going to miss out on your life if you're rushing to the next thing, to these accolades that really, the truth is that if you rush to the accolades and you get them, the quicker they'll leave. If you look around like, this person's being celebrated for being the top this and the most this and, the 30 under 30 list. And then after that, they have a complex because they don't know if they're worthy anymore. Or, it's on to the next thing, right? Nobody really appreciates and values things anymore. Art, music, people. It's all about how can I get to where I'm going the fastest? I don't want to opt in to rushing my life. I want to take time. I want to smell the roses. I want to have a picnic and, have fun. I don't want to rush. There's no rush. Who am I racing? I, at the end of the day, am going to have to answer for all the things that I did, not what homegirl did next to me or homeboy did next to me, right? It's about me. So if I know that, I want to live a life of slow, intentional, pacing. And I can't do that if I'm chasing all the things that the world is telling me to chase, if I'm prioritizing rushing to my next thing as opposed to really being joyous, happy, and fulfilled. And there's this idea that if you don't hurry up and do the thing, that somebody else will take your place, right? And I've heard that myself, like, while you're sitting there resting and relaxing, like hustle culture, you're sitting there resting and relaxing, other people are getting it and they're grinding and they're getting ahead. Somebody's making $1 million today. I'm like, okay, good for them, right? Good for them. Can you calm down? Sorry, there's a car coming by. But can you calm down? Can you relax? I'm not in competition with these other people. Wonderful. They're getting it. Wonderful. But I will not burn myself out trying to compete with this imaginary person who's getting it today. No, let them shine. Let them be great. I don't have to come in and snatch their success. And the truth is that what is for us is for us. What is for us is for us. No one can take it away from you. No one can snatch it away. No one can work their way to your stuff. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You are your own person. You are infinite, okay? You are abundant. You are connected to an abundant source. There is no way that you can miss out on what is for you. There's no way. There are so many, again, we use this example about bread, how there are so many different types of bread, right? There's, gluten-free, wheat, white. There are so many different variations of bread, but they're all bread. Pita, right? There are so many different variations, but everybody has a preference. And there's enough to go around for you as well. You're more valuable than bread, okay? And so if you are, then you understand that you don't have to rush. You can take your time. There is no rush. No one is forcing you to go 100 miles per hour. Take your time, go your pace. Another way that scarcity shows up in my life is just by being busy, just busyness, the need to always be doing. Because it kind of goes back to the last point that, if I'm not rising and grinding, somebody else is, and then there's less room for me to win. But the truth is that I don't have to be busy. If I believe that I am abundant, if I believe in abundance, then I know that I don't have to rush, I don't have to force anything. And all rushing and forcing things is reinforcing is scarcity, that there is not enough time, that there is not enough room, money, people, right? Resources, but there is enough. And if there is enough, then I can take my time and I don't have to busy myself. I can rest. I don't have to sleep worrying about, oh, while I'm sleeping in, somebody else is getting it. Who cares? That's for them. What's for me is for me. And I will take my time and I will not busy myself. I don't have to be busy to be worthy. I don't have to be busy to be abundant. If anything, abundance is about doing things intentionally. And there's no way that you can be intentional and busy at the same time. If you're just doing things for the sake of doing things, there's no intention there, right? The focus is to work smarter, not harder. We've heard this before. And the only way to be smarter about what you're doing is to focus on abundance, to focus on the fact that you don't have to rush. You can rest. You can rest and you don't have to be busy. Busy, almost like what I really believe is that the need to be busy is like the need to prove that you have worth and value. I think about the scripture when it talks about Martha and Mary and how Martha was just busy. She was just doing stuff. She was just doing things. And Mary was like at Jesus's feet, like, worshiping him. And Martha, I really felt like I have to be busy because it's almost like I have to be busy because that makes me worthy, right? That makes me worthy of being in Jesus's presence. That makes me worthy of serving the people. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of us are busy because we feel like, oh, I should be productive right now. Why? Why do you need to be productive? And why isn't rest productive? Why isn't pause productive? Why isn't mourning, crying, feasting, having fun with your friends? Why is that not productive? What are we trying to produce? Are we trying to produce, work for work's sake? Or are we trying to produce joy and happiness and, beauty and all these other things, love? Like, what are you trying to produce? And if you're doing the actions to produce those things in your life, if you're trying to produce abundance, be generous, right? You just be intentional. You don't have to just busy yourself for the sake of busying yourself. And so if this is true, then I can create slowly. I can take my time. I can take my time with videos. I don't have to post every single day. I don't have to keep trying to be relevant. I'm trying to be intentional because I already know that I am inherently relevant. I am inherently worthy. I am valued. I am loved. I am enough. Another way that scarcity shows up in my life, and this is real, okay, is I can't do X, Y, and Z because I don't have blank. And usually it's money. For the most part, it's money. I don't have the money or I don't have the time. But the truth is that money is not our only resource. Money is not our only resource. A lot of us are not doing the things we want to do because we think we need more than we have to get started. And the truth is, for example, if you want to start a YouTube channel or if you want to start, making films, right? A lot of us would be like, well, I want to make films, but I don't have the money. I don't have the money to buy the equipment. I don't have the sound equipment, but you have a phone. You have a phone, you have a computer. You have something that you can use. And it might not be the quality at which you dream it should be, but what you have is enough. What you have is enough to get started. There is always a way to get done what you want to get done. You just have to have the, figure outiveness of the thing, right? You have to have the figure outofness to be able to do the thing. So again, like I said, if you want to make films, use your phone. That's valid. If you want to, sing songs, sing into your phone, sing into a mic, sing on the corner, do what you have to do to get the thing done. But don't use that as an excuse to say, oh, I don't have X, Y, and Z, so I can't do it. The question should be, okay, I don't have this, but what can I use? What do I have? Like, who am I connected to? What resources are available to me to get this thing done? That's how we should start thinking. That's an abundant mindset, not a scarcity one. Because the truth is, you have everything you need to succeed right now. You have the knowledge, you have the vision, you have, the ability to learn. You have everything you need in this moment to get started the thing that you want to get started. You do not have to wait on equipment or money or resources or people. You can start today and it can still be valued and valuable. Like people, it's so crazy because we stop so many things because we don't think it's good enough when people are not even asking for all of that. You can set up a phone and talk to it and people can still be moved and impacted by what you share. I've seen that. I thought I had to have the equipment and the sound and all this other fancy stuff. But the truth is that my heart, I have what I need. I have the message I need to communicate. I have everything I need today to get started and to create the things that I want to create. And that's the only way that I've gotten to where I am today is by going for it, even when I don't have the optimal stuff, even when it feels like I'm not good enough, even when I feel like I need X, Y, and Z. I get started anyway. And that's how you move into abundance. Here's another way that I struggle with scarcity is that if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. We've all heard this, in songs and just like people saying it every single day, and they don't realize how limiting that is. If it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. That means that my sole purpose in life is to make money, and usually make money for someone else, right? That I am only valuable if I am making money, that I am only as valuable as much money as I have, right? That's what we're really saying when we say stuff like that. Like, oh, I can't do this thing because it doesn't make money. Or how can I monetize this? We don't have to monetize everything. Adelia / Picky Girl Travels the World made a video recently about this, and she mentioned about, trying to be uncomfortable, like comfort zone. People say you need to get out your comfort zone and do all these things. It's like, but do you really? When really we could just draw in what we want in our lives. And I love that thought, because even the idea around monetizing everything, some things we just want to do for fun or for serving. We don't have to monetize everything, right? So yes, if it doesn't make money, it makes sense. If the whole point of money is to be used as a tool to reach my goal. Money is not the goal. It is a tool. It is a tool. And if my goal is being reached with that money I have, then I have enough. If I just need enough money to live, to thrive, to have fun, I don't need to focus on making money. But we live in a world and a system that tells us everything is about making money. Everything is money. Time is money. No, it's not. Time is not money. Time is time, right? But we can afford more time if we have more money. So we really need to figure out what we really want in our life and figure out how to get it. And sometimes how to get it, you don't even need more money. You just need different. You need to use your money differently, right? So again, if it doesn't make money, it still makes sense. If it brings you joy, fulfillment, happiness, peace, all those things are valuable. All those things are valuable, and you can create art for art's sake. You can have fun with your friends just to have friends. You don't have to be looking at your clock worried about like, dang, I could be making $1 million right now. No, the abundance is the time that you're able to spend with your friends, with your loved ones, and that's what matters most, and that's what money should be able to afford you. So again, money is not the goal, it is a tool. And on the flip side of that, another way that scarcity shows up, especially for me as an artist, is that I fear charging for things. I'm afraid of charging for stuff because I worry that people don't have money, that people don't have the resources, and I want to be able to serve people. And I also don't want to be looked at as a grifter or, a thief or a swindler or as greedy, right? And a lot of people think that art should be free, that, we have access to YouTube and Spotify and all these things and they're free. But what we don't really understand is that these platforms are making money off of these creators, that we see that it's free. It's not really free. All the ads you see on videos, YouTube gets most of that money. All the ads you hear on Spotify, if you don't have a paid membership, the artist doesn't get those ads. The artist gets 0.004 cent on Spotify and probably less than that on YouTube. But the whole idea is this belief that money is limited, and it's not, right? Like, if people can make money off of me, off of what I'm creating, like Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, all these things, then I deserve to make money for myself, because obviously what I have to share is valuable. Obviously people want to see what I have to say. People want to hear what I have to say, see what I make, so we have to stop thinking that people don't have money. People have money, and people put their money towards what they value. And if people don't value you with your money, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you need to change your marketing tactic. It just means you have to find your people. And when you find the people that want to support you, it'll blow your mind. Like even with me not charging for things, people have sent me money. People have supported me just because they value me. They value what I have to say. And when that happened, that really changed my mindset. Like, I am valuable. I am worthy enough to charge. I am good enough to charge. Like, we're waiting for, some magic moment to happen. Well, we have to create those moments for ourselves. And if people want to give to you, allow them to. Create a way that they can give to you. People have money, people have resources, and the resources are out there. And even if you want to do something for free, like a nonprofit, people donate. There are people who are willing to sponsor you. Like the resources are out there. We just have to figure out a way to get it. You don't have to suffer to serve other people. You do not have to go broke to serve other people. You don't have to burn out to serve other people. You can serve other people and you can thrive at the same time. You don't have to be a martyr. You can thrive. Another way, I don't even know what number I'm on, but perfectionism. Perfectionism tells me that I can't share, I can't create, I can't, start something unless it's perfect. And what I realized is that perfection is really just a fear of being judged. It's really taking me off of the hook. If I say it's not perfect, I can't do it now because it's not perfect, no one's really expecting anything out of me. That's what it really is. But I've also understood that over the years, what I thought was perfect is not. It's like there's no one perfectionism. Perfection does not exist. Perfection is not a thing. There are things that we're taught to think that are perfect, but nothing is perfect. Everything is flawed, and that's what makes it beautiful. My music does not have to be perfect to make an impact. I don't have to be perfect to make an impact. I don't have to be well spoken. I don't have to be, well eloquent when I speak, right? Like I can still communicate something without it being perfect. And I feel like Black folks are geniuses at this, right? Like given the least amount of things and still thrive, just do the most, right? That's what we tend to do. And so in the same way, we don't have to wait till we're perfect to do the thing. If anything, I like, and I've said this before, I like my music to feel human. I like my music to have flaws, to have, beats that aren't perfectly on time. Like I like my music to feel human. It makes it feel more warm and alive. And I think a lot of people are also intimidated by people who are perfect. People are intimidated by people who are perfect. People want to see people like them, normal, every single day people that they can relate to, that they feel seen by. And you can't do that by being perfect. Also, if we're waiting to be perfect, we will never create anything. The whole world will miss out on your gifts, on your talents, on your resources, on your knowledge, on your love, if you're waiting to be perfect to share it. Do not rob this earth of your gifts, of your loveliness, waiting for perfection. It is not going to happen, and it's okay. You are perfectly imperfect. You are perfect because you are imperfect. Even if we want to improve, the only way to improve is by doing. You cannot improve if you don't take that first step. Be okay with being bad. Be okay with being a beginner. A lot of us are so used to seeing polished images, curated feeds, curated images, that we don't see the process behind that thing. I was having a conversation with my mother the other day, and she's like, you're just so fearless, you just do the thing. But I told her, you don't see, before I go live, me sweating and freaking out and hoping that it goes well. You don't see me having a panic attack before I sing. You don't see me doing those things. You don't see me being nervous about posting about something I created. You don't see that stuff. All people see is what we put out there. And I want to share with you that I am afraid too. I'm afraid of what people think. I'm afraid of stuff being wrong. Some of the music I put out, it's not perfect, but people still resonate with it. And I think that you're robbing yourself, but also other people, of beautiful things, waiting for perfection. Perfection is not going to happen. And that's a beautiful thing, because we can be more, if we approach things with the idea that it's not going to be perfect, our hands come off the thing. Like we don't have to attach our worth to how well something performs, how much people spend on this thing. We don't have to connect our worth to those things. We are inherently worthy, and we're inherently imperfect. And that is okay, because you're still going to resonate with the people that you should resonate with it. This is like number 8, but another way that scarcity shows up in my life is waiting for the other shoe to drop. Because life has been so hard, it has been so difficult, it has been so laborious, when something good happens in my life, I can hardly be present to really appreciate and accept it. I'm always waiting for something bad to happen. I'm like, oh, things are going too good. Something bad has to happen. I am changing my mindset. Life is beautiful. I'm worthy of good things. I am valuable, right? Like, great things attract themselves to me, and I don't have to wait for the other shoe to drop. I can be present, I can be here, and I don't have to miss out on the joy of the small joys that come in my life, or the big joys, waiting for the other shoe to drop. I am present, I am here, I am worthy. And, I'm celebrating the fact that things are going well without the expectation that I have to suffer in order to experience any joy. I don't have to suffer to thrive. I don't have to struggle to thrive. I can just thrive. I can just have good things, and that be enough. It's like I can be afraid to get too excited about something, because I'm like, okay, what's the catch? What's the catch? I don't want to move through life like that. I want to move through life like, yes, I'm grateful for what I have, but I'm also expecting something greater. Yes, I'm happy for this, and more great things are coming. More great things are on their way. But I can't really embrace the joy that God is trying to give me if I'm worried about what's going to happen next. Like, that's not true joy. That is fear, that is exhausting. And then you end up with like adrenaline fatigue, because you're worried about things going wrong. I forgot to mention is that sometimes when I would become successful, or when progress was happening, or things were on the up and up, I would self-sabotage. I would destroy my own success, because it felt like I wasn't safe. I wasn't secure enough to be happy about the fact that things were going well for me. I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And so in that, I was unable to be present in the joy that was happening now. I wasn't able to celebrate myself, because I was like, oh, this is going too good. This feels too good. I can't do it. And so I would shut down. I would self-sabotage and destroy any inkling of success. And then it would become a self-fulfilling prophecy, like, oh, I am not successful. I can't do the things. But then it's like, well, girl, you were doing the things and you shut it down, right? So I really had to reckon with that. The fact that, oh, I might not be okay with success because I'm worried about scarcity. I'm stuck in my scarcity mindset. All right, folks, I believe we're on number 10. So the 10th way that scarcity shows up in my life is the fear of asking for help. I'm afraid to ask for help because I'm like, if I'm struggling, other people are struggling. Or the fear is being looked at as someone who doesn't have the things that she needs. And so if I believe that the world is abundant, and if I believe that abundance is everything, if that's what exists, abundance versus scarcity, then I can ask for help. I can ask for welfare. I can ask for unemployment. I can ask for help from my government, help from other people, because I know that I've been giving, I've been generous, and so I deserve generosity as well. We don't have to suffer alone. We've been taught that we should suffer alone. We've been taught that we should pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. That is not true. Community is there to help other people. What is the point of having those people around if you don't give each other anything? What is the point? It's dead weight. It's dead weight. Generosity, again, creates abundance. So you can ask for help and you can give help to other people. You're not going to lose anything by helping anyone else. All right. And the 11th way that scarcity shows up in my life is this thought that I have to have all the answers. We are celebrated for knowing everything. I don't know everything. I don't know everything. And sometimes what I know is wrong. Sometimes what I experience is wrong. But what I love is that with abundance, I can open my mind up to the fact that other people have valuable resources, information, love, generosity, right? Like money. Like I can be open to the fact that I don't have all the answers. You know, with scarcity, we're taught that like, you know, we should do everything by ourselves, and we're celebrated for being independent and strong and, you know, successful alone. But the truth is that there's enough to go around, and I don't have to have all the things figured out myself. Other people can have communities, other people can have podcasts, other people can have YouTube channels, all these things. And I don't have to, you know, be relied on for the answer for everything, because I'm not going to have it, right? I'm not going to have it. And I can take that pressure off of myself. There is nothing beautiful about you being the only person who knows everything. There's nothing beautiful about that. What is beautiful is a symbiotic relationship where people are sharing resources, information, knowledge, wisdom, love, generosity, right? That's what makes it beautiful, not you knowing everything. People are valued for being an expert, for being all-knowing, and for being, you know, the guru. I don't want to be any of those things. I don't want to be all-knowing. I don't want to be the expert. I want to be ever learning. I want to always be taking in other people's information and their wisdom, because they have stuff that I don't have. They have experiences and knowledge and things that I need and things I can impart on other people. We talked about that river before. If I'm at the river and I'm flowing, other people can put things in the river as well. Like other people can thrive as well. I don't have to have everything resting on my shoulders. And that is exhausting anyway. For far too long, I thought that I had to have everything together, thought I had to have everything figured out. But the truth is that there's an abundance of information, of wealth, of knowledge, and I don't have to do everything myself. By not being the expert, I create room and space for people to share, to thrive, to ask questions, to ponder, to wonder, right? Like that's how you create community. That's how you create space. You make room for what you don't know. And if you feel like you know everything, you're hoarding information. You're hoarding this need, like to be needed. And some people feel like they need to be needed. You are needed. You are valuable, but you don't have to do everything on your own. That is not healthy. And that is a quick way to the grave. You don't have to know everything. Everything doesn't have to ride on you. In the Black Girl Creative Collective, we have a woman in there, and she was speaking about how her family, like, because she's an elder in her family, and how her family relies on her for everything. But she's just now getting to a point where she feels like God is saying, like, no, like, they're fine. You're not God. Let them handle what they're doing. Let me handle it, right? We're not God. We don't have to be. And what a great and wonderful truth that is. I don't want to be God. That's too much going on. You got to spin the earth around. You got to take care of all the animals and the people. No, I'm not doing that. We don't have to be God. Like it's not healthy to know everything, to be relied on for everything. Leave people to figure things out for themselves. And when you allow people to figure out things for themselves, or to ponder or to question, there's nothing wrong with being helpful, but don't be a crutch, right? Don't be overbearing either with your information. When you're giving people room to be themselves and to figure things out for themselves, like you're allowing them to develop critical thinking skills that we all need. You're also allowing them to figure out their own truth, not the truth from other people's mouths, not the truth that they think they need, but the truth that they need to hear for themselves. And the only way they can get there is if you leave room for them to ponder and to think. Also, the pressure is off. The pressure is off for me to know everything, to be perfect, and I leave room for the contradictions. If I contradict myself, that means that I have new information that I didn't have before. I love leaving room for the contradictions, leaving room for the what ifs, leaving room for the, that's just my opinion. It could be wrong, right? Like, I don't want to position myself as an expert because I am not. And that I want to flow, right? Like, I want things to flow through me. I want things to flow through me and me be like, that's cool, but I'm going to leave that over here. I don't need that. Or be like, wow, I never thought of that before. Like, and the only way that I can get those things, an abundance of wealth and wisdom and resources, is by not being the expert. Also, I don't have the capacity to help everybody. I don't have the capacity to do everything. But when we come together as a community, we do. When we come together with our resources, our wisdom, and our wealth, we can impact so much more, many people. I feel like that's bad English. So many people that I cannot, right? So much more can be done if we come together as a community and do the things. And the only way that we can do that is by having an abundant mindset. So if these mindsets ever come for you, scarcity, you are not alone. I am a work in progress. We are all in this together. We are all in this together. But I see you, I value you, I love you, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, check out this last video I did on scarcity and abundance, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Keep being present. Leave room for the what ifs. Leave room for abundance. And let's leave the scarcity mindsets behind. All right? Love y'all. Bye.